Hi everyone, it's Beth, and today I'm making an egg wreath sign. I grabbed a couple of these egg garlands from Dollar Tree, only ended up using one of them. Some Spanish moss, this 2-pack of 8-inch wreath ring, a square picture frame, scrapbook paper, a few different sized ribbons, white chalk paint, Mod Podge, zip ties, and hot glue. First thing I did was removed the glass from the frame and took the cardboard, traced that out on the scrapbook paper, and cut out that square. Once I had that cut out, I took the Mod Podge and put a generous layer on to the cardboard, and then placed down the scrapbook paper and smoothed it out, trying to get out all the bubbles and wrinkles from that. And I did not wait for the underneath layer to dry. I did the top layer right on top of the scrapbook paper and set that aside. And then I took the frame and gave that 2 coats of the white chalk paint. And I didn't realize it until afterwards. I removed the pins from this frame, but you can leave those on to make it attach easier. But I had removed them, so I used hot glue, put that on the back side of the frame, and then placed the cardboard right back in. And then next I took one of the wired frames, so it was facing upside down, so the outside part of the frame was on the desk, and took this 1-inch ribbon and hot glued it on the inside. So you can wrap it around, but it would use a lot more of the ribbon, so I just cut pieces of it and hot glued it on the inside of the frame. And I do this so when I glue down the Spanish moss, that it doesn't fall through the back. So I just glued some ribbon in there to have kind of a backdrop for it to glue to. And then just hot glued some Spanish moss all the way around. Once that was nice and filled in, I just trimmed up the excess moss hanging around the edges. I took one of the egg garlands and just cut it and pulled the eggs right off. And I had originally grabbed 2 because I didn't want to use certain colors and I didn't know how many I was going to need. So I only ended up needing 1 of them, and I went with the more neutral colors, the blues and pinks, and the little peach color, and just hot glued those eggs all the way around. After I had all of the eggs attached, I took the second frame and placed that right on top of the eggs. And to attach it, I used 4 zip ties, just zip tying both outer frames together. Once I had them all on there, I just went around and tightened them all, making sure they were all nice and snug, and then trimmed off the excess zip tie. I took some of the Spanish moss and just glued little pieces of it on top of the zip ties just so you wouldn't see them so much on the front. So I just did that on all 4 of those pieces. Next, I placed the wreath right on top of the picture frame and kind of just traced around underneath it where I was going to need to put the hot glue, and just put a generous amount of hot glue around there and then place that down to dry. And the last thing I did, I had used some of those Dollar Tree ribbons to make a bow, and kind of was figuring out where I wanted to put it. At first I was thinking right on the top, but it covered too much of the wreath, so I went off to the side, hot glued it right to the corner there, and then trimmed up the tails on there so it didn't cover so much. And that is it. Super easy and super cute, perfect for spring or Easter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.